Hola amigos, Daniela here from Through the Looking Glass. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. In this channel, I talk about my life healing from chronic illnesses. One of those chronic illnesses is fibromyalgia, and a lot of experts recommend people exercising to help manage their fibromyalgia. However, if you have ever been in pain, you know that the last thing you want to do is exercise. Not to mention that a lot of people that have fibromyalgia have something called exercise intolerance, and basically what that means is that it can make their heart rate go really fast, it makes them feel really unwell, and it results in a lot of pain. Instead of getting that boost of energy or that good feeling that a lot of people say that you get when you exercise, people that have exercise intolerance just basically feel horrible. So how do you do something that makes you feel horrible? The goal is long term. So you may feel unwell temporarily, but as you build exercise and it becomes less of a stress on your body, less of a challenge in your body, then you will start feeling those benefits of exercise. So what are those benefits? One of those benefits is better circulation. And when you have better circulation, there is better oxygenation distribution in the body. So muscles need energy, and they get this energy by breaking down glucose with the aid of oxygen. So this reaction happens in the mitochondria of the cell, inside of the cell, and basically it produces the energy that the body needs to contract and move that muscle. When there is little or no oxygen, that reaction still happens, but it happens in the cytoplasm of the cell, which is the gelatinous part of the cell, and the byproduct of this reaction is lactic acid. And lactic acid is responsible for that soreness, that pain that we feel after a workout. It has been noted that people with fibromyalgia have very high levels of lactic acid in their bodies. So there could be potentially an issue with that energy production and the use of oxygen in this conversion. Oxygen is needed in every single cell of the body, and so if you increase and improve your circulation, better distributing that oxygen through the body, your cells will be able to better perform. Exercise also helps with digestion, it promotes better sleep, it increases the levels of serotonin, improving your mood, and it also produces endorphins, which are natural painkillers. First, we need to look at the different kinds of exercises. So there are stretches, there are aerobic exercises, and they're strengthening exercises. Stretches are great for range of motion, for stiffness. A lot of people with fibromyalgia have a lot of morning stiffness, and doing some gentle stretches first thing in the morning, even in bed, can really help you get up in the morning and moving. Aerobic or cardio exercises are really good for your heart. They, like I said, help with blood circulation, and they're good for endurance. Some examples of aerobic or cardio exercises is walking, running, swimming, anything that gets your heart rate going faster. And then there's strengthening exercises, and those are often lifting weight or resistant bands. And basically what they do is to make the muscles stronger, and therefore they help support your joints, your frame, and it puts less strain on your posture. A tip here is to not work all your muscle groups at the same time. So when you start, don't do a big workout that works every single muscle of the body, especially if you're exercising large muscle groups like on the thighs or the back. Those put a lot of stress on the body and they take a lot from you to recover. So whenever you are exercising those areas, you should be exercising them on their own and give enough time for the body to recover and repair itself. If you enjoy this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss future videos from me. I make content about living life with chronic illnesses. A very, very important step for working out or exercising with fibromyalgia is to start slow. When I mean slow is 5 minutes. 5 minutes and then see how your body responds. If you're doing weights, try to do it as light as possible. Sometimes resistant bands can be a little bit better because there's some that are pretty stretchy and they hardly give any resistance, so you can slowly increase that resistance over time. Sometimes even just the movement without any weights can really help you get started. Then over time, you're gonna start increasing the length of time that you do an exercise, and then you're gonna start to increase the intensity or the weight. And this needs to be done very gradually. You want to really see how your body responds and give it time to repair itself. You will notice that with time, your body is not going to have that same reaction that it had initially. The first weeks are always the hardest. So consistency is the key, because if you're going to go through that hard beginning where you're going to be unwell and in pain and you have to sort of like push yourself through that, and then eventually you sort of start to get to a point where it's getting a little bit better and you stop. When you start again, you're going to be starting from scratch. You're going to have to go through all that process again. So keeping consistency is extremely important to help you get where you want to be. Whenever you exercise, whatever the exercise is, you want to make sure that you are well hydrated. So whenever the body is trying to regulate its temperature, it is going to take fluids from your body and try to produce sweat to get your body's temperature to cool down. And by sweating, you are dehydrating, which can lead to headaches and even more soreness in the muscles. So make sure that you're well hydrated. Also make sure that you have energy, that you have that glucose available to be used. So making sure that you have eaten enough carbs and proteins is important for a workout, but you don't want to eat right before working out because digestion takes a lot of energy. And if you had just had a big meal and all your body's blood flow and energy is going towards your digestive system, and now you're trying to work out again, there's going to be that competition of where the oxygen and the energy is going to be going. So try to make sure that you have that fuel available, but not in the active stage of digesting just right before exercising. So the next thing is to pay attention to your breathing. You want to make sure that you have a nice steady breath and that you're not holding your breath when you're exercising. If you're having to hold your breath to exercise, it's because it's too intense for you. You want to make sure that your breathing is nice and steady and that you're taking a lungful of oxygen for each time you're contracting the muscle. Yoga is a really good kind of exercise because it includes stretches and also focus on breathing. So it helps your body to be in tune with its needs and the breathing, and it promotes relaxation. The next thing to pay attention is your posture. That is extremely important to avoid injury, especially at the beginning when your muscles are still pretty weak. It is very, very easy to be uneven in your posture and pull more one side than the other. So making sure that your spine is aligned, your shoulders are in the correct position is important to avoid even more discomfort and pain after exercising. Something that I like to do when I'm first starting exercise or every time I sort of increase intensity is to take a muscle relaxant before going to bed. I am not a doctor, so I am not qualified to give medical advice and recommend medications, but I'm just sharing with you what has worked for me. So if that's something that you're interested, talk to your doctor about it. I also like to use topical gels to help with swelling and inflammation, and I find that arnica is pretty good for that. You can get arnica at Walmart, pharmacies, and before bed, I'll just apply and massage the muscle that is affected, and that really helps with pain as well. Sage has also a combination of essential oils. It actually comes in a roller. It's their pain relief roller, and I find that also amazing for muscle pain. Also, something that I do after exercise that I find quite helpful is to have a warm bath with Epsom salts. So after exercising, I'll just go soak in the tub or I'll just go into my hot tub, and I find that that really helps the muscles relax and reduces the amount of pain that I'm in the next day. However, if it is the next day now and you find that you have swelling in certain muscles, then I would advise doing the opposite, applying cold packs for 10 minutes at a time, several times a day to help reduce the inflammation. So cold packs and the arnica gel are probably your best way to treat swollen muscles, but if you are getting a lot of swollen muscles, then that's probably an indication that you're going too hard. You need to decrease the intensity and you need to kind of go slower. Taking magnesium can also be very helpful with recovery because it has a very calming and relaxing effect on the muscles. try to find something that you enjoy, because exercising with fibromyalgia is hard enough on itself. And if you also have to do something that you hate, it's gonna make it even more impossible. So if you do something that you enjoy, you are a lot more likely to continue and incorporate that into your daily life. Having an exercise buddy is also a way to make it fun and somebody to cheer you and encourage you to keep going. Next tip is you need to listen to your body. If a certain exercise is absolutely making you feel horrible, then don't do it. Ask yourself first, am I doing it too much right away? Would it be different if I started slower, less frequent, less weight, or do it in a different way? There is a lot of adaptations, and then see if that's the issue. But if you still change those things and it's not agreeing with your body, then don't do it. Find something else that works better for you. There are so many different ways to move your body. On that same note, try to avoid exercising in times of physical stress. If you are sick and recovering from a virus or an infection, your body is using a lot of resources to boost your immune system to fight, and it's not a time to be causing extra stress on your body by exercising. Other examples would be you did not get enough sleep that night. For women, you may be on your period, or you're just simply in a flare. And lastly, don't compare yourself to others. You are on your own journey, and the goal is to move. The goal is to be a little bit more active each day than you were the previous day. And if you have setbacks, that's okay. Take your time. If you're going through a flare, be kind to yourself, allow your body to recover, and start again. And I know it can be so frustrating when you're going through a flare and it feels like all the progress that you've done so far is lost. But if you can try to move even a little bit during a flare, sure, rest and take enough time to recover, but don't not move completely. Even if you just go for a 5 to 10 minute walk every day and get your muscles moving so that they're not shrinking, it can make a big difference. And then you sort of go back. Don't go back to where you were before. You kind of have to take a step back and start again, because that's what it's like to live with fibromyalgia, is us having to adapt as flares happen. But what cannot happen is us giving up. We have to take a deep breath and say, we're doing this again. I hope those tips on how to exercise with fibromyalgia are helpful for you. Let us know in the comments below, what are your best tips? What do you do to help you exercise and keep yourself motivated? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Also, give it a thumbs up so YouTube can show this video to other people. And ciao for now. I'll see you on the next one.